Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 4. So one quick thing to mention before we continue on with the rest of the video, I will be starting a new giveaway at the end of this video, and it's actually for the Invasion crossover from last season, all on one DVD, so all of the episodes in one awesome to watch spot, because a lot of people recommended that this be my next giveaway because a lot of people wanted the chance to win it, I guess. So yeah, stick around till the end of the video to find out how you can get the chance to win that. So in the past episode of The Flash, we had a very Killer Frost-centric episode as her, or Caitlin, and the rest of the girls, including Felicity from Arrow, delved into some action as they faced Blacksmith, or Amino Black, a new sort of foe that especially Caitlin will be taking on this season. Now in this episode, they did really contrast between like the good side of Caitlin, obviously that just being Caitlin, and then the sort of bad side of Caitlin, that being Killer Frost, and they haven't really properly explained like why Killer Frost is that way. But thankfully for us, all of these journalists actually went up to Vancouver where they filmed basically like 99% of the CW shows, and they interviewed a bunch of the shows like Arrow, Legends, Supergirl, Riverdale, Supernatural, all of that stuff, all of those shows. But of course they interviewed the people at The Flash as well. So in the next couple of days I will try and see who they interviewed and stuff. They interviewed a decent amount of people, but it really depends on when they flush or put all that information out. So we'll try and do videos if there is decent enough stuff to talk about. But in regards to Killer Frost, they did interview Danielle Panabaker, who obviously plays Caitlin Snow / Killer Frost, and she gave a pretty honest and interesting answer to a pretty interesting question. Now I will play that video in a second, but I do want to shout out K-Site TV, who are the people who got this question. Actually, I think they might have asked the question, but they have the footage. They are the people that run like Green Arrow TV, Flash News TV, all those websites where I get a lot of my stuff. I've linked them before, talked about them before, but I will leave the video and all their stuff in the description below if you do want to go check them out. But here is that video from that interview.
A lot of times when people get their powers, they're still the same person, but with Killer Frost, it's like suddenly powers made her evil. Has that been explained to you, or do you know why that is?
I wish I could count the number of times I've asked this question, because, you know, we read the scripts and obviously it's up to us to interpret them to the best of our abilities. I have asked that question many times. The best analogy I've gotten is, again, the one we saw in episode 5, is the Hulk analogy that, you know, Jekyll and Hyde. I would still like to see a Killer Frost origin story. I would still like to know why this version of Killer Frost, who lives inside Caitlin, is so evil. Obviously, again, hopefully we are seeing some evolution of her character, but I want to know why, right out the gate, she was ready to join forces with Savitar and kill Iris. Like, I don't know that that's been explained on the show, and it certainly hasn't been explained to me either.
Now, personally, as I sort of did say before, I thought this was a really, really good question, and actually a very honest answer by Danielle Panabaker. No real BS, she just sort of got to the point. What do you sometimes get with the actors of these shows, and I don't blame them, but they sort of dance around the question. They don't give you an actual answer. But Danielle Panabaker was sort of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what is going on, why Killer Frost is evil. She just sort of gave her own sort of interpretation of it, which a lot of people sort of see it like that as well, sort of like it's a Jekyll and Hyde situation, or like how Felicity commented on in the episode, it's sort of like the Incredible Hulk. Like, she doesn't remember going Killer Frost, just sort of this thing like she hulks out or frosts out and goes Killer Frost. So it's very similar to that. Now we know in only a couple of episodes, we're getting episode 6 this week, so we're going to have episode 7, another Flash episode, but then episode 8 is the big crossover. It's actually not that far away, it's 2 weeks away. Well, sort of 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away, which is actually insane thinking about it. But in that crossover, Killer Frost is going to be on the good guy's side. Now, you could interpret this as, well, Killer Frost might not want to work with the good guys, but then she has all these other people from other Earths attacking her Earth, and she's like, well, I sort of want to, you know, keep my Earth, so I might fight with these good guys just to protect my Earth for this point in time. So that could be why Killer Frost is on the good guy's side. Or potentially, you know, Caitlin is starting to get more of a grip on that Killer Frost side and bring her more in control and stuff like that. Now, in this week's episode of The Flash, Iris actually refers to Killer Frost or Caitlin as Frost. She doesn't call her Killer Frost, she calls her Frost. Now, this has been one of the big theories. It's not even that big of a theory, it's just a like an assumption that when Caitlin, you know, does get more of a grip on that Killer Frost side, that we're just going to call her Frost. We're not going to call her Killer Frost because, you know, what kind of hero goes around calling themselves Killer Frost? You know, it doesn't ring that well. It's not the best, like, publicity. So, yeah, I think they'll call it Frost when she eventually does go good, and that could be in this crossover. Now, there have also been some set pics released, or set pictures, might I say. Don't want to get too lingo here, but set pictures, not set pics, released over the past couple of days. Now, I'm not going to show them in this video just because some people might view them as spoilers, but I can say that Killer Frost was fighting alongside Barry as the Flash, and obviously Cisco as Vibe. Now, there wasn't too much context in this scene. There was only a couple of shots. Most of them were Killer Frost actually sort of injured in the scene, and then there was one where she's like right next to Barry and Cisco sort of fighting an unknown and unseen villain. We actually didn't get a look at who they were versing. But this does hint even more that Caitlin, or Killer Frost, or Frost, is heading more in that good direction. I don't think she's going to be 100%, oh, happy-go-lucky Flash good, but I think she's definitely moving towards being more of a good person and definitely being more of a hero than a villain. But I guess one of the big questions is, will she ever become fully good? And I think the answer to that is yes, because I don't think they want to keep playing around with the whole notion of, oh, will she be evil, or will she be good, or will she like never become good and fully become evil? They can't keep playing around with that because it is getting old. Even at the current time, a lot of people are getting pretty tired of the whole Caitlin going Killer Frost, and oh, she's evil, and then she's Caitlin again, she's good. Like, a lot of people are getting tired of that. Personally, I'm enjoying it at the moment, but I could see it getting old, and I'm not getting old, like bored of it at the moment, because it's not a main focus. If something's a main focus and they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, then I would get sort of bored of it. But at the moment, I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying Caitlin's journey. I think it's one of the more interesting things going on this season, and I am excited to see where they go. But I think down the like the long run, I think by the end of the season, Caitlin will be seen as a good guy rather than a good person who has this, you know, sort of bad side that can get a bit out of control when she's in a bad mood. But do let me know in the comments section down below what you think of this, because Danielle Panabaker, I honestly think she doesn't know. Like, a lot of the actors do know their whole story arc, but I don't think they really want to give Danielle too much information, because if she knows she's meant to be good, it can affect her acting performance. And they do this with certain actors. Like, they don't tell them certain information, because down the road, if they know too much down the road, might I say, it can affect their current performance, and she might not, try and be as evil as possible in certain scenes in the current time. So that could be why they're not telling her so much information, or, potentially she just doesn't know. So I think that by the end of the season, Caitlin will have more of a grip on Killer Frost. Maybe not 100% control, but I think she'll definitely be more leaning towards the side of good rather than evil. But now let's get on to the giveaway. So as I said, it is for a copy of the Invasion crossover, so all 3 episodes. It's not all 4, because obviously that Supergirl part does not count, because that end scene from that Supergirl episode was in the Flash episode. So it's the episode of the Flash, Arrow, and Legends, all of them on one DVD. And I think it might have some extras, I'm not 100% sure. But essentially, to be in the running to win that, all you have to do is leave a like on the video. Pretty simple. Be a subscriber to the channel. Obviously, very simple. And answer this question in the comments section down below, which is, what is your favorite team-up moment ever in the Arrowverse? So it doesn't have to necessarily be from the Invasion crossover last year. It could be, when like Ray Palmer came to the Flash for that episode, or just little team-up, like mini crossovers. It could literally be last week's episode when Felicity came over. Anything like that. So your favorite team-up moment in the Arrowverse. It could even be when the Legends went to Star City in 2046, I think it was, and Old Man Oliver Queen was there. So similar answers to that. Just leave that in the comments section down below. What was your favorite team-up moment in the Arrowverse up to this point, as well as leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, and you're in the running to win that prize. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next video. Goodbye.